How are you feeling?
Better. Thanks to Taya.
I'm glad to hear it. People take notice of wealthy men. Shouldn't be too hard to track down Charon's collector.
The same Drake's Fang is gone. The whole Mother Crystal gone. What are we gonna do?
Calm yourself.
My reputation will be ruined! Ruined!
Calm yourself, Lord Ignac, I beg of you, before you do yourself a mischief.
Pardon the intrusion, but...
Out! Get out! I paid for these rooms so I wouldn't be disturbed. Leave me be!
Please, allow me to apologize. His lordship is going through a difficult time, and he's never been fond of guests arriving unannounced.
Radim! Get rid of the filthy oaf this instant!
Very good, Lord Ignac. Would you mind stepping outside for a moment?
I'm sorry if I've caused you any trouble.
That? Oh, no. That's just how his lordship is. Though the morning's events have left him somewhat fractious. He has been dispossessed of his luggage, you see. The thieves also made away with a considerable amount of coin. Coin the innkeeper will soon be keen to collect.
I don't suppose a certain blade was among the stolen items. A single-edged sword. It was purchased from a merchant friend of mine.
Ah, you know Lady Charon. Yes, I'm afraid it was.
Then I'll retrieve Lord Ignac's luggage. But I have one condition.
You have but to state it. You are welcome to anything that is within my power to grant.
I want an audience with Lord Ignac. A few minutes should be enough. Then I'll be on my way.
A condition I would be a fool to refuse. Of course, you shall have your audience.
I don't suppose you saw where the thieves went.
I did not, no. Though some discreet inquiries made on his lordship's behalf mean that I know where you might find them. The bandit's bed. Every ill-gotten coin in Dalimil is said to pass through that disreputable corner of the Valcroy.
And that's where I'm heading.
I shall speak to Lord Ignac in your absence, and arrange for an audience upon your triumphant return.
That will be very kind of you.
Farewell, and best of luck.
Come on.
Run like the wind.
got company! Come on, lads, let's tear the bastard's head off!
This must be Ignac's luggage. Nothing seems to be damaged. All right. Let's get it back to Dalamil.
I hear I have you to thank for the... What shall I call you?
Wyvern. Glad to make
A
it.
formidable... Well, Wyvern, I appear... Redeem here tells me you wished for
A few moments of your time.
You're a peculiar...
Master Wyvern was wondering if you could tell him about a certain single-edged sword.
Oh, a true work of... Karen drove me hard on the price, but I would have sold her Radim here to get my hands on that sword. It was made in the Outer Isles, far beyond, and is used exclusively by the practitioners of a unique school. They believe no combat should ever exceed a single strike, and hone their blades to such perfection. Each sword is made for that one perfect stroke, and for that stroke, there's a brutal sort of beauty to it, really.
But how do they house?
Fine question. Why, they use a whetstone, of course. Whetstones, rather. A whole array of them, ranging from the coarse to the fine. But it is the final stone which lends the a mineral quite foreign. And that... Wyvern, it occurs to me that my little lecture is hardly equal. Take this, the very stone of which I spoke. Far rarer and a far more fitting payment.
Thank you.
Pardon the intrusion, my lordship. However...
I am locked in bitter I am one step ahead of the
And there are many other
Too many to count, but only one do I consider my nemesis. Lord Byron Rosfield. And is a perennial thorn in my side.
I can imagine.
Farewell, Wyvern. May our paths cross again. Radim, we mustn't dawdle.
I think his lordship is rather taken with you, Master Wyvern. Thank you again for your assistance. Coming, my lordship. I'll be right there.
Trust Uncle Byron to find such an interesting rival. Now, let's see what Blackthorn makes of this whetstone, shall we? Sorry for that, but hopefully he'll agree it was worth it.
You learned something about us.
I did better.
A whetstone.
Yes. But not one you'll find anywhere in Valisthea.
No wonder I couldn't get the same finish on the grinding wheel. One hit and all done, eh? Might not be so bad if all you ever fought were duels. Good luck on the battlefield. Your second opponent would be your last, no matter how good you were.
Even so, is there some way it could be used to give the Cursebreakers an edge?
I think so, yeah. With this whetstone and the right kind of steel, I could probably even make a twin of the blade that rattled me, but there'd be no replacing this little rock once I worn it down to a sliver. I reckon we get a dozen swords from it, if that. Swords that the Cursebreakers wouldn't know how to wield properly, and that would see them through a single fire piece. Nah, no point trying to copy that thing. Be about as much use as a wax anvil, but finishing our blades with a whetstone this fine. Now that's something to consider. And what's finer than fallen masonry, eh? Or more hard-wearing, for just imagine it. Good Valisthean steel with an edge as sharp as any found in the Outer Isles. I won't make a copy, nah.
I'm sure the Cursebreakers will be just...
Don't you worry about me, Sunshine. I've been working day and night since I was half your age. And I'll still be here when you're long gone. Hey, thanks, Clive. I mean it. I owe you one. August too. It's good to know someone's looking out for me.
You'll be happy to hear you said that.
And I'll see that my debt to you's paid. First new blade I make's got your name on it. You come and find me when you've got the materials.
All right?
What do you need? What do you want? Anything else?
is certainly quiet. If I were giant antelope, it would seem like just the place. I doubt we'll find one bigger than that. You hungry, Torgal? Nice try. Now, will it be enough, I wonder? I say that answers my question, which means we owe the lawsmen our thanks. You're just a big puppy, aren't you? A very big puppy. You do know you can take that with you, Torgal. Lady Karen will be relieved to hear you've got your appetite back. Come on, boy.
I noticed you and Torgal had gone off somewhere. Take him for a walk, did you?
You could say that.
So, Molly's leftovers weren't good enough, eh? That'll teach me for treating you like you're still a pup. All right, no need to shout. Now we know what you're after, I can see about getting some in.
Speaking of which, I brought one for later. Can I leave it with you?
You can, aye. I'm nice like that. In return, you can thank Tomes for me. The bloody know-it-all.
I was just on my way to see him.
Ah, were you able to
We were indeed, Lawsman. You pointed us an exact...
Very good.
Lady Karen sends her thanks, by the way.
Ah. But that reminds me, you recall our conversation concerning Lady...
About how she somehow...
Precisely that. A reasonable conclusion, I thought. The Fenrir of legend served Shiva, and while the powers attributed to him are certainly impressive, the records imply they are...
What are you suggesting?
That Torgal may be the beneficiary of more than one icon's power. Consider that in addition to Lady Jill, he has served as a loyal companion to you, your brother. In short, the icons hitherto near at hand, or should I say at paw, and that number has only grown as the realm's dominance have fallen to your sword. One can but speculate as to how all of this has affected Torgal.
He has seemed more fierce of late.
And if I am not mistaken, he will grow fiercer still. We are fortunate indeed to be able to count him amongst our allies and not our adversaries.
Oh, he's more than an ally. He's a friend. Good girl. No need to ride from here. Look what we have here. Greetings, Your Majesty. pain is over. Now to collect the ash. This looks like the stuff. Let's see if there's any more. That should do it. The wine needs more than this.
All right, there's. How's that hub?
I have it here.
That's the stuff. And plenty of it, too. Enough to keep the Alembic bubbling away for a good old while. You're a gent, Sid. Let nothing say other. Right then. There we have it. The Telemon Alembic. And it works just like the chief said it would.
Very impressive.
Says the man who cut down a burning boulder. Speaking of which, I still haven't returned the favor.
There's no need. The good it will do for the hideaway is reward enough.
Don't be silly. Why don't you let me take a look at that bag of yours? The one you keep your potions in. Reckon I could work some magic on that.
What kind of magic?
Well, we happen to have isolated a substance in our test run of the Alembic that I reckon will make even the thought we might use it to breathe new life into old boots and the like. Ah, I reckon if we slap a bit on your bag, it'll loosen it up enough for you to...
Well,
that's the spirit! Well?
It certainly feels more...
Right? Told you.
Thank you.
No. For supporting Mid and the rest of us in our endeavors. Without you, we'd never have been able to discover wonders like that stuff I rubbed on your bag. And I'm telling you, there's plenty more where that came.
Come on. This used to be a trade route for merchants crossing the Scars, till the Republic laid a new road wide enough to let wagons pass, and all official traffic moved there.
Leaving this one for those living outside the law.
Indeed. I doubt we'll be the only outlaws on the trail today. Let's go. So what do you think? Thanks, Skull.
That we'd be lucky to make it out alive.
Really?
Oh, aye. There's trouble.
I take it there's...
What about this fierce?
Oh, no doubt. Well met, friend.
How does a merchant miss...
Oh, the man's a coward. When he thought goblins might come...
He sent the two of us to fetch it, but it's gone.
My brother's right on all accounts.
We may have seen our share of action, true.
You, however, chances are they'll come for you either way. But
Well, if I'm going to have...
You've clearly got a fight.
we're lucky now. Hoping to make a heavy purse in Bocklad, reckon he won't be forking over the rest of our fee if we don't find those goods.
All right.
Nope. You just put an end to those bandits and point us in...
I'm not sure I trust those two. But if there are bandits lying in wait, I should probably take...
Look lively, you lot. We've got guests.
These must be our bandits. That's them dealt with. Now, where's that cart? Getting all of this out of here will be a nightmare.
Seems we've found ourselves the right man for the job, wouldn't you say?
Found the cart and didn't leave a single bastard breathing. Our merchant friend will be delighted.
And how exactly will he be getting his goods out of here?
You leave that to us. After all, it'd be wrong to make such a fine warrior haul cabbages to market.
You've done your part. And that's all you need to worry about. Here. It's been a pleasure. Now piss off.
There's no need to be so rude, brother. What if we want his help again next time?
Good girl.
I see the Dalmex lag behind Rosaria when it comes to bridge building.
The fallen ruin should hold, at least. The path continues on the other side. Don't get surrounded. Be safe. So this is Zemeckis.
The land of the gods. It's even more impressive than I imagined. I remember being captivated by the story as a child.
Long, long ago, man was overcome by avarice and challenged the gods in a bid to win their power. The final battle took place here, at these falls. Or so the legend goes. If anyone ever manages to plumb those depths, perhaps we'll learn if there's any truth to the tale.
That the gods emerged victorious and punished man for his defiance by visiting upon him 2 curses.
Dominance and bearers. To tell the truth, I always thought it strange that the dominant and their icons were deemed a curse. Back home, the dominant inherited the throne. They were admired and exalted, not spurned. Whenever I got to that part of the story, I always assumed there must be something I'd misunderstood.
You had a lot of storybooks, didn't you? In your room, I mean. When we were young.
The old legends were always my favorites. Epic battles between gods and men. Father encouraged me to read as much as I could. He thought it good for my education.
You really were a boy like any other, weren't you?
Just look at this place. It's enough to make you believe the legends are true.
I know.
We're not far from Boklad. The road will be busier up ahead.
Then we'll have to keep our wits about us. Clive? Something wrong?
Nothing. It's nothing.
I see the reports are true, Father. You have surrendered the throne to Olivier.
I have. Emperor Olivier shall rebuild the Holy Empire of Sanbreque.
How is he to rule an empire? He is but a boy.
I shall advise him until he comes of age.
Father, please.
Or for as long as I am able. The empire we seek to build needs young blood to rule it, and I can think of none better suited to the task. There is other news, Dion. Hugo Kupka is dead, and Drake's Fang destroyed. The pillars of the Republic have fallen. Ere long, the Imperial banner shall fly over every city in Storm. And then Valisthea. All shall bow before their Emperor.
Father, these are the words of a tyrant.
They are the words of a god. The Emperor whom I gladly serve. Great Greagor, made flesh. Return to your camp, Dion, and ready your forces. It is time to show the world the true Sanbreque.
Father. I find you much changed. Is this truly the path you wish to tread? Or are these the ambitions of another? Of Ultima, perhaps?
What nonsense is this? I speak my mind, and my mind only. Though I do owe Annabella thanks for reminding me of certain truths regarding the nature of nations, of rulers, and of the divine.
You would trust the words of this traitress? She betrayed her country. She slew her husband.
You have ever been an invaluable servant to Sanbreque, Prince Dion. I trust you will continue to serve your Emperor in the wars to come.
The canker! Silence! Insolent wretch! You will bend the knee. All else is heresy.
Sire, forgive me.
This audience is over. Come, Your Radiance. The Rowena Syndicate awaits your pleasure.
Oh, not another meeting with silly old men. They're so boring. I'm hungry, Father. Can't we have luncheon instead?
Does it pain you that you will not inherit your father's throne?
I have suffered worse.
Count your blessings, Dion. For a base-born child to be chosen by Bahamut is miracle enough. You have risen high on his wings, but you shall rise no higher, lest your impure blood stain the throne.
What do you know of my blood?
The Boklab markets are to the north. We just need to hug the coast.
Infiltrating the Dominion won't be easy with the Imperials on high alert.
No. His Radiance has lost one capital already. We can be sure Sylvester will do everything in his power to hold on to Twinside. His troops are well-trained and increasingly battle-hardened. But it's not as if we can wait for the siege to end. More refugees.
They're all making for the Crystalline Dominion.
Because they don't know how to live without the Crystal's blessing. I can walk from here.
Boklad. Finally.
There are no crystals here.
This is where we're supposed to meet Goots, isn't it?
That's right. He said he'd wait for us here after replenishing his supplies. I dare say he'll have finished by now.
What do you think, girl? Is it time we took to the crystal?
Get it, boy!
Let me carry your goods. I'm cheap.
And nasty. Let me
out of my sight.
Well met.
Many thanks. A fine choice. Many thanks. You're welcome anytime.
Wonders from across the water. Come one, come all. Feast your eyes. Good sir, can I interest you in...
How much? For a measly crust of bread?
You won't find any cheaper. Not nowadays. But you're more than welcome to look.
The Empire's unlawful and... occupation